7, 8.
A sandwich shop surveyed 60 people to find out their favorite type of cookie. The results are shown in the bar graph. So let's take a second to write the numbers at the end of the bars. It'll make it much easier when we read the answer choices. I can see that our bar graph starts at 0 and that this line is 10. So that means each line in between is 2. 14, 16, 18. For corrections, you must write all those numbers too. I wrote it in red, you write it in red. So, butterscotch, 6, sugar, 12, peanut butter, 18, and chocolate chip, 24. Based on the information in the graph, which type of cookies were chosen by 30% of the people surveyed? Now, you can take the time to add 6 plus 12 plus 18 plus 24, or you could just read carefully and see that there are 60 people. Now, percents mean proportions. 30 is the percent. It always goes over 100. And the total number of people is 60. So, to get your points, you must write your proportion like mine, and you must write everything I write when you solve it. 100 times x is 100x, and 60 times 30 is 1,800. Now, it's an equation we're going to solve by dividing by 100. And we end up with x equals 18 divided by 1, which is 18. So, 18 cookies is 30%. We have to find the answer choice that gives us 18. So I have butterscotch and 6 plus 12 equals 18. We're going to check the rest. Sugar and peanut butter, 12 plus 18 is 30. Butterscotch, sugar, and peanut butter. Oops, that should be 18. Is 36. And then sugar, peanut butter, and chocolate chip. 54. 12 plus 18 is 30 plus 24 is 54. Oops. So the only one that adds up to 18 is A. To get your point, written in red. Catherine gave each member of the science club a different set of animal cards. Jasmine gave each member a different set of element cards. The box displays the data. Which statement is not supported by the information in the box plots? I don't find the numbers for box plots like I do for dot plots. Usually I can just look at the pictures. because you got this one wrong, we're going to actually do all the math that goes with this. Normally, I say you don't need to do all the math, but you got this one wrong. We need to make sure we know how to do the math. The interquartile range, that's the box, for animal cards is greater than the interquartile range, the box, for element cards. So animal cards, interquartile range. We are looking only at the box. Highest number in the box, 54, minus the lowest number in the box, 40. Interquartile range for element cards. Highest number for element cards, 50. And lowest number for element cards, oh my goodness, sorry. Let's see. This said 54 minus 40. And we said 50 minus 40 is 10. So the interquartile range for animal cards, 14, is greater than the interquartile range for element cards, 10. Is 14 greater than 10? Yes, that means it is true, which means it is not your answer. The median number of element cards, median is middle, 46, is less than the median number for animal cards, which is 48. Yes, it is true. The data for animal cards are more symmetrical than the data for the element cards. Symmetrical means the same on both sides. Is this tail the same as this tail? Close, but not quite. Are they more the same than these two tails? I would say it's more the same. I don't love that question. We might come back to C. Let's check D out first. The range of the data for the element cards is less than the range of the data for the animal cards. So element cards range is 56 is your high number, and 26 is your low number. So your range for element cards is 30. Your animal cards, your high number is 60, is 34. So your range for animal cards is 26. Let's do D again then. The range of the data for the element cards, 30, is less than the range of the data for the animal cards, which is 26. Is 30 less than 26? No, it is false. D is your answer. Make sure you have all this written. A bag contains lettered blocks. 4 tiles are letter M, 8 tiles are letter A, 3 tiles are letter T, and 1 tile is letter H. A tile will be randomly selected from the bag. What is the probability in decimal form that the tile selected will be letter M? Probability of letter M. How many M's do you have? 4. And your total, you're going to get by adding 4 plus 8 plus 3 plus 1, which is 16. Now, you can't put 4/16 into a griddable, so you can simplify this fraction and you will automatically know the decimal because this is one we memorize. Or you can top in, bottom out, and that's what we're going to do now. So 4 goes in the box, and the decimal is right behind 4. So 16 goes into 4 0 times. 16 goes into 40 2 times. 2 times 16 is 32. Add a 0. 16 goes into 80 5 times. 16 times 5 is 80. So your answer is 0, big fat decimal point, to 5. If you don't have this division, getting your points back for number 8. Jared spends 270 minutes at soccer practice each week. The circle graph shows Jared's activities during practice. How much more time in minutes did Jared spend scrimmaging than warming up? So how much more means to subtract. We're going to subtract scrimmaging minus warming up. Scrimmaging is 35%. Warming up is 30%. Problem is, we don't want the percent, we want the minutes. So you need to set up a proportion. 5 is the percent, it's over 100. X 100 times x is 100x, and 270 times 5, you need to work with me. Man, I hate when I do that. Now we have an equation to solve. We're going to divide by 100. I'm going to cancel out my zeros. My division problem then is 135 divided by 10. X equals 13.5 minutes. All right. 10 says the number of baskets made by Ms. Murphy's and Mr. Jackson's basketball players are shown on the dot plots below. Which statement is supported by the information on the dot plots? Supported means true. Now, dot plots, I like to find my numbers first. And since you got it wrong, we're going to find our numbers first, whether you like it or not. So, for Ms. Murphy's, range, greatest minus least, you have 27 minus 10. The median, you need to mark off the dots till you get to the center. Not with your fingers, with your pencil or with your red pen. I end up with 14. For the mode means most. 12 has the most dots. Mr. Jackson's players, for the range, highest is 22. Lowest is 13. So your range is 9. Your median is 18. And your mode, you actually have two modes. You have 17 and 18. They both have 3 dots on them. Now, here comes the showing your work part. The mode for the data for Miss Murphy's players, mode is 12, is greater than the mode of the data for Mr. Jackson's players. Is 12 greater than 17 or 18? No. B says the range of the data for Mr. Jackson's players is greater than the range of the data for Ms. Murphy's players. Is 9 greater than 17? No. The median of the data for Ms. Murphy's players is less than the median of the data for Mr. Jackson's players. Is 14 less than 18? Yes. We're not even going to check out D because we already found our answer. To get your points back on this, you must have all of the red, everything I've written in red, including the check marks, the circles, the underline, the word, the subtraction, everything. You must have everything I have written in red on your paper.